Okay, hello. What do you think? This is the last page of the book, so we have already finished it. What will make a better society? Wow, that's great. Okay, the page it's 134, Unit 12. So I hope that you begin already to do your my goodness to do your guide to study. This is so important. Only Unit 12. Well, we are going to see listening. So I almost not going to interview in this activity. So we are going to read the instructions, listen to the start of the lecture on building utopia society. So this is something that it could be like in your imagination the best thing in the whole world, no robberies, I don't know, to health, everything. um, Now we're going to listen a question. Of course, you cannot work in pairs, but you can answer in your notebooks and oral production too. This is very important that you don't forget to practice your oral. I'm going to put the audio and please listen. I'm going to put the transcript. It's important for it is so long so you can have clear what is the question.
Audio 12.12.
Good morning, everyone. You may find my lecture today comical, given my name. Yes, I know it's Orwell, but rest assured there's no connection whatsoever to the famous novel 1984. But the topic is...
A utopian society?
Yes, you guessed it. We're going to talk about what the elements of an ideal or utopian society might be. That is, the exact opposite of Orwell's totalitarian society. Let's start by brainstorming. What's the very first word that comes to mind when I say utopia?
Utopia. Okay. So please, you are going to answer that in your notebooks. And meanwhile, just stop the video. I'm going to put the next part. Listen to part 2, complete Jennifer's reasons. And now, alone, you're going to tell me, are any convincing yes to you? There will be no housing shortage because buildings will be, there will be no food shortage because people will have, there will be no pollution because everyone will have a for transportation. So please listen. This time I'm going to put the transcript.
Audio 12.13.
What's the very first word that comes to mind when I say utopia? Jennifer.
I'd say fun. I know a lot of people think of serious concepts like democracy or justice, but to me, a true utopia makes life just enjoyable and worth living.
But wouldn't you say we need a minimum level of serious commitment too for a utopia? I mean by government. Access to the basics for a comfortable standard of living, food, education, housing, medical care. Don't these need to be universal first?
Yeah, and what about respect? As in respect for our planet. We have to conserve resources, reduce pollution. I know it sounds boring to say we need to be green, but we do.
Well, I have no doubt whatsoever that those things will come too. You see, technological changes will allow us to fix things.
Jennifer, could you explain what you mean more specifically?
Sure. I read this article the other day, and for one thing, the housing shortage will disappear. You know why? Building will not only go up, but down.
Huh? How can we simultaneously be building more and less?
No, what I mean is new housing will be built underground, like 25 stories under.
That's not so far-fetched, actually, Jennifer. In Coober Pedy, Australia, for example, residents prefer to live in caves because of the heat. And housing is, in fact, built underground. It gets up to 45 degrees centigrade there.
Wow, that's cool. Or maybe I should say, that's hot.
That's a good one. Anyway, you know what else? The food shortage will be gone too. You'll just download your favorite chef's recipe to a 3D printer. Progress will ensure that around the world, everyone is connected.
And what about our environment, as Oscar mentioned?
No problem. Everyone will have a private drone to get around, and they'll be powered with solar energy, so there won't be any emissions whatsoever where we live.
What do you think, Michael?
Okay, so now we're going to see the correct answers. And we have here, there will be no housing shortage, o sea, escasez, because buildings will be underground. Yes, there will be no food shortage because people will have 3D printers. This is very funny. Okay, there will be no pollution because everyone will have a drone for transportation. Well, I think that's so ridiculous. That's when somebody says because, well, admits with a 3D printer is not possible that to eat something, but well, it is very imaginative, using so much imagination. But well, listen to part 3 and take notes. Give one argument to show how the housing crisis may diminish and how hunger will remain a problem. So this is writing production. It is obligation to do it in your notebooks and set me. Yes? Well, so please listen.
Audio 12.14.
These are all very interesting ideas, but this does all sound very futuristic, doesn't it? Is there any evidence whatsoever that any of these changes might actually come about?
Well, don't we already see some of them starting? There's been a sharp rise in building up, so why not down too?
Yes, cities have already shown success in building vertically instead of horizontally, so we know it's possible to fit more people. And the thing about hunger, well, hasn't the number of people who are starving been falling steadily? The current statistics show the number of hungry people in the world has dropped to a little under 800 million, which is approximately 200 million fewer than in the early 90s. So, yes, it's a significant drop, but the situation is still pretty catastrophic. The evidence over the last 25 years shows that world hunger cannot be eliminated quickly.
But think how easy food production will be once 3D food takes off.
But can we ensure that the poor will have access to 3D food? It seems to me that there's more to it than meets the eye.
You're such a pessimist.
No, I'm not. I'm a realist.
For the next class, here's what I'd like you to do. Ask yourself, is the world getting better or worse? Look at the question from different angles. Do some research and write an essay expressing your views.
Cool.
Excellent. Well, now we are going to continue. Remember, you need to do these two activities in your notebooks and send me by classroom. Well, we're going to continue, and this is it. Read whatsoever, then add whatsoever to 1 to 6, only if possible. Listen to check. Like at all, whatsoever, it can be used to emphasize negative ideas. Notice its positions in these sentences. I have no idea, however, what an utopian society is. There's nothing whatsoever we can do change the current situation. It can also be used in questions with any. Is there any doubt that whatever that climate change is getting worse? So you are going to add this sentence, this word to these sentences. So please take your time and do it. And we are not going to do the rest. So this is here, and this is the last activity that we are doing about the book. So please stop the video and I give you the correct answer. You're supposed to stop the video and I here give you the answers. Again, stop the video if you need extra time to do it. And well, that's all for me. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye bye.